Hello everyone, so welcome back. So this month, November 24th, made it 1 year since I officially migrated to the US, and a lot of persons have asked, like, how was my transition to the US? How is it working in the US? How is it different from working in Jamaica? So I've decided to make a video to talk about all that, because when you just get here, persons ask, but you're still kind of trying to figure things out, so you don't really know exactly how to answer the questions or what to tell them, because you're just going through it. So I think with my 1 year experience, I can tell you about my 1 year experience, and I'm pretty sure persons are going to have different experiences than me. So everything I'm telling you is just about my experience. So I am in North Carolina. I work at this hospital, Vidant Medical Center. It was 5 of us that came originally. We were working medical step-down unit, the orthopedics unit, the medicine floor, and one person at that time was at labor and delivery. So I work on the orthopedics floor. I had another Jamaican with me at the time, so it was 2 of us on the orthopedics floor. We started working on December 9th, and so for the first week, it was typical orientation stuff. They're telling you about the hospital's policies and procedures and stuff like that. So all that was in the classroom for the first week. And this is a teaching hospital, so of course there were lots of courses that we had to do, but they were not difficult courses. It was like systems, exams, and so forth, but it wasn't anything difficult. You had the readings before, and then you would have the exams, but it was a lot, maybe about 30 different exams or more. It was just a lot of exams for that first week. In the second week, we still had courses to do because it was so much, but in the second week, that was when we first went on the floor. But bear in mind, also for our first week, we were the first international nurses here at the hospital, so it was a lot of excitement for us. They called us the Fabulous Five. So everywhere we went, and they heard the Jamaican accent, because it was 5 Jamaicans. They were like, "Oh my God, you're part of the Fab Five. We've been so happy to have you guys here," and everything. For that first week, I think maybe every day or every other day we had some meet and greet. We got some new gifts, everything. It was really welcoming, to be honest. No one made us feel out of place at any point. Everybody was just there to help, and they didn't just want to help you with hospital stuff. They wanted to make sure we were able to get around everywhere, that we loved our apartments. They wanted to find out if we wanted to go furniture shopping, everything. They just wanted to make sure we were settling into the community, we were settling into the hospital. I just wanted to make sure that everywhere we went, we felt welcome, and believe me, it was really welcoming. So that for me was like one of the biggest perks, because when you come in and you're starting, anxiety is just overwhelming. Even when you're trying not to think about it, you're coming to a whole new country, so there's just a lot of anxiety. So that made it a lot easier for me. And of course I had the other Jamaican girls here, so that relieved the anxiety a little bit too. So anyway, back to my second week. So for the second week, I said we still had courses to do, and that was when we went on the unit for the first time. But I think we worked like 2 days that first week on the unit for maybe 8 hours, and then the rest of the time we just had to finish up all the courses that we had to do. Week 3 now was when we officially started working on the unit. So they paired each of us with a preceptor, and that was the person that was going to help you throughout the journey. The first week with the preceptor was, or maybe the first day, it was like observation, but being that we're not new nurses, you know, you can't really observe for long. So yes, we did observation for the first day, but come the second day we were ready to do something. We didn't just want to observe. So for the second day, we got, I think we took one patient that day, and we're like, okay, you know, one patient coming from Jamaica, when you have one patient, you really do have a lot to do. So we took one patient, and then we slowly 1, 2, 3, 4. They were at 4 patients for a while, and then we gradually went 5 to 6, because at the time the ratio was 1 nurse and a care partner, which is also a CNA, 1 nurse and a CNA to 6 patients. It has changed since then. Now it's a nurse to 5 patients, and like the CNA will have like 8 patients, but I'll get to that. So the orientation period was about 3 months, and once we got to the point where we had all 6 patients, yes, you had a preceptor there, but once you started figuring things out, you really didn't need your preceptor to be around all the time. It was comforting to know that if you needed anything, they were there, but we didn't really need them all the time. And of course, I'm going to show you guys some of the things that were really different, like the medication pixies. I'm going to show you like how the room is set up and stuff like that, so you'll see all of that, but this is just me talking about the general stuff. Also, let me continue. So after the orientation period was finished, the 3 months, you know, it was officially time to start working on our own, and it was nerve-wracking, to be honest. Yes, all the time you had the preceptor, and most of the times we didn't even need the preceptor to help us out, but it was comforting to know that the preceptor was there. So when orientation was finished and it was time to work on our own, I was nervous the first night, because I chose to work night shifts. The first night was the most nerve-wracking, but then it got better, because I was like, okay, this is what I'm used to doing, so it was all right. And of course, things became, you know, a little more complicated when COVID started, because when COVID started, the orthopedics floor, because, you know, most orthopedic surgeries are elective surgeries, so that closed, and I was on trauma surgery intermediate unit, which was very similar to my unit in Jamaica, where we had a lot of trauma cases, but it was different. They're very different from the orthopedics floor, but I really liked trauma surgery at the time. You get a lot of experience there because you pretty much see everything. So that happened around March, April, so around, yeah, about a month or 2 after I finished orientation. So that was good. It was good experience at the time. Okay, so let me not stray too far with all that. So let me tell you like a typical day, what it's like. So it's 12-hour shifts, whether day or night, and staffing is the same on the day shift and as it is at night. So if day gets 5 patients, the night shift gets 5 patients as well. You start with, as soon as you get to work, you check your allocation, and the allocation is done from the previous shift. So you check your allocation. I usually print out what is called a patient report, which tells me the basic stuff about my patients, and then we have what is called huddle. That's when you meet, and the charge nurses, they tell you what happened in the day, and yeah, they'll tell you like how many admissions you're expecting overnight, yeah, stuff like that. We'll just talk about basic stuff, anything changing in the hospital and stuff like that. Then you have reports. So we do bedside reports, and in bedside reports you take reports from the nurse that has the pod that you are going to work overnight, and the pod here has 4 patients, so you have 1 pod plus 1 room, so that's your 5. So, and that's the only file you take report on. So, you know, in Jamaica, report was done. When you're doing report, you're hearing about everybody on the unit. That's not the case here. Your concern is your patient. And of course, there are going to be times when you have to help out another nurse or stuff like that, but your pod is your concern. You take report, and after report, then you go through, you meet all your patients while in report. Then you go through and you do your assessment on each patient, and then you go and do your charting. Here, the rooms have computers in each room, and you actually have a station where you have a computer outside of the rooms. So you can chart if you want in the room, and then you can chart if you want outside of the room. Most times, like there's something you're going to forget, you can just pull up the computer and you put that information in, and then you can chart later. Here you have 24 hours to complete your charting. So say for instance, I work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and there was something that I didn't chart, maybe something that happened around 12 o'clock on my shift. I have until 12 o'clock the next day to chart it. So that's good, but I've never done that, because if I'm working 2 nights in a row and I don't chart the first night, you have to chart 2 times for that shift. And I don't like that. I don't want to do that. So I always do my charting. Speaking of charting, the big difference here, everything is on the computer. So the EHR, which is electronic health record, is electronic. So no paper documentation, medication and everything is done on the computer. Every single thing is done on the computers and everything. So that took some learning. It's not hard, it's just really time consuming, because even to document on the 5 patients on the computer, that takes a long time. To be honest, when you're writing your notes back home, it would be a lot shorter than having to document everything on the computer. So I do miss that. Also, what I really miss, Jamaica had specific medication times. So yes, you'll have maybe one patient occasionally that had a medication that was not due at the specific medication times, but here every day, every hour is a medication time. So you can have medication 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, every hour for your shift. And especially like when we have a lot of surgeries, you honestly probably have at least one patient on something every hour. Here though, they say you can serve 1 hour before or 1 hour after. I try not to go to 1 hour, I try to stick to my Jamaican half an hour, but sometimes you have to do the 1 hour, you kind of have to group the stuff, so it helps with your time management. So that is something. Also, there is this thing, so this right here, this is my vocera. So this is how they keep in contact with you. So say the call bell goes off. Oh, the call bell, let me tell you guys about the call bell. So in every room there's a call bell. So and the patients, they do sometimes they call for like some simple things and very unnecessary things, but of course they have the call bell and it's there for them to use. So that's something I miss about Jamaica. Public hospitals did not have call bells, but it's here they utilize the call bell so often. So like say for instance, I have a patient now, hits the call bell, the secretary answers the call, and the patient will say okay, they need something for pain, or probably their pump is beeping, something that I have to do. So they just call me using this.
Vocera. Call TONICIAGAMIEL.
Hi, this is Tanisha. Hello, this is Nikkei.
And most persons have to spell my name because they can't pronounce it.
I didn't understand. Accept call.
So you see, that's how it works. So the secretary calls, it comes up, I press the button, and then she can tell me what the patient needs. So some hospitals will do cell phones, but yeah, this is what this hospital uses, the Vocera. So it is pretty cool, and it works anywhere and everywhere in the hospital. I've never gone home with it, so I don't know how long the distance is that it can actually work, but it works at the hospital. So differences, I can definitely say yes. So starting the IVs, doing the regular labs, blood cultures, yes, that's all the nurse doing. And here actually nurse doctor communication that I've seen, for the most part it has been really good. Like on average, when the doctors come in the mornings, because they don't usually come before my shift ends, but occasionally you'll have a team that comes before they even go into the room. The first thing they say, so how was this patient last night? Is there anything that you need from me right now? Was there any issues? And I appreciate that, because they think, okay, then you're the person that was here with the patient all night. Is there anything that needs to be adjusted? So I love that. Yeah, so the last thing now that I want to talk about, of course, is the dress code, because if you guys know me from Jamaica, I always had issues with my sisters about my uniform being too tight, too short, you know, my style was too much, anything like that. My hair on my shoulder. So the dress code here, we wear black scrubs, and we can wear black, white, or gray undershirts. I think other departments have other colors, but for the general floor, it's black, white, or gray undershirt. Here, there's no issue with your hair on your shoulder, and I see a lot of different colors. No one has said, okay, you can't wear this color or anything, but I haven't done anything extreme. I think I've worn burgundy. That's the most outrageous I've done since I've been here. And of course, caps. This is my life now. I wear cap almost every day to work. You do have to comb your hair. I see a lot of persons, they wear head wraps, head ties. They don't comb their hair at all. So they don't really have a lot of hair issues as far as I know. Jewelry, they say no face jewelry, so no eye piercing, nose piercing, lip piercing, but yeah. But no one really has an issue with it, because I do have like a big old cow ring in it or anything like that. Earrings, no, they say you can wear as many earrings that your ears can take. I wear hoops, but I don't wear extravagant hoops. I have seen some cases where persons wear long or big hoops or anything like that, but I try to, you know, be reserved. So that's that. So I said we wear black scrubs, but on weekends we can wear the Vidan t-shirt, and there are many different Vidan t-shirts. So you can wear a t-shirt, and socks, you can wear any color socks, any size, any length, whichever. And for shoes, you can wear any color closed toe shoes or any style. They don't have an issue with that. You can wear nail polish. You can wear any color nail polish. They just don't want you to wear false nails or acrylics. And if you wear nail polish, they want it to be whole, so no chip to the side or anything like that. But yeah, you can wear your necklaces and stuff like that. Yeah, so they're pretty chill about that, and no one says, oh, that uniform is too tight or that pants is too short or anything like that. The managers here, it has really been different. Like how the managers interact with their staff is really different, and I guess it's because everywhere here, or everybody calls everybody by their first name. So you know, back in Jamaica, you have to say sister this or sister that, because even some sisters in Jamaica, if you say nurse this, it's an issue, because they're gonna be like, it's sister. Here everybody you call them by their first name. So doctor first name, respiratory therapist first name, care partner first name, everybody, nurse to nurse is first name. So it's really different, because even now on my floor, I absolutely love my manager. I don't think I could ever say that in Jamaica. I had serious issues with my clinical nurse manager. We had serious issues with each other. But here it's really good. There was no issue I've ever had, and I can't go to my manager and say, okay, I'm having this issue, I need help with this, or I don't understand this, or this happened. It has really been good. And I can be talkative sometimes, but for the most part, I don't really just talk out like that. And I've had no issue here where I really had to, put my foot down or say anything. So it has really been a great experience for me. It has been a wonderful year, I must say. Even COVID came, and persons got laid off in other hospitals and stuff like that, and I was grateful. Throughout this entire period, I was employed, working every day. They sent me to neurosurgery intermediate one time, and that made me really unhappy, but I don't like neuro patients. But that was the worst part of it, because neuro patients have every single issue you can imagine. Neuro ward gloomy, and I think neuro ward gloomy in any and every country. It's the same here. So that was my biggest issue, working neurosurgery. But I love trauma surgery, I love orthopedics, I've been over oncology. Everywhere else has been really good except for neuro. Just neuro. It's a neuro issue, not a hospital issue. So yeah. So yes, that has been my year in review, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.